Beyond daily news, we live in countries with roots which are deeper and go further and are beyond who we are. We want to work together in order to implement some efficient measures to tackle dumping anywhere it is taking place in all the fields by sharing the information that we have and making sure that both the European Union and the United States can take the necessary measures in order to protect, within the context of free trade, but a fair free trade, that we can protect all of our sectors of activities where we are active. When it comes to fighting terrorism, from day one, I can say that we've seen eye to eye the situation in Iraq and in Syria. Here again, we agreed to continue to work together, in particular in order to be able to launch together some diplomatic initiatives in order to put in place a roadmap for what will come after the war. Next, climate. Well, here we know what our disagreements are. We've expressed them on a number of occasions, but I think it is important that we can continue to talk about it. I very much respect the decision taken by President Trump.
Our two nations are forever joined together by the spirit of revolution and the fight for freedom. France is America's first and oldest ally. A lot of people don't know that. Today we face new threats from rogue regimes like North Korea, Iran, and Syria, and the governments that finance and support them. We also face grave threats from terrorist organizations that wage war on innocent lives. President Macron and myself discussed how we can strengthen our vital security partnerships. Last week, the G20 leaders also reaffirmed the right to sovereign nations to control their borders. We must be strong from within to defend ourselves from threats from the outside. And I applaud President Macron on his courageous call for that less bureaucracy. It's a good chant, less bureaucracy. We can use it too. The United States remains committed to being a leader in environmental protection while we advance energy security and economic growth. Our occasional disagreements are nothing compared to the immortal bonds of culture, destiny, and liberty that unite us. We have a very good relationship, a good friendship, and we look forward to dinner tonight at the Eiffel Tower. Something could happen with respect to the Paris Accord. We'll see what happens. I have a son who's a great young man. He's a fine person. He took a meeting with a lawyer from Russia. It lasted for a very short period, and nothing came of the meeting. And I think it's a meeting that most people in politics probably would have taken.
And I think it's always good between partners and allies not to interfere in the other's domestic life.
What a good answer that is.
We have a lot of disagreements. We have a lot of discrepancies, obviously, with Russia. But in the current environment, especially in the Middle East, it's a necessity. And I think it's important that both of us have direct discussion and contact with President Putin.
One of the great things that came out of that meeting, by the way, even though it's not part of the question, was the fact that we got a ceasefire that now has lasted for, I guess, Mr. President, almost 5 days. And frankly, we're working on a second ceasefire in a very rough part of Syria. And if we get that and a few more, all of a sudden you're going to have no bullets being fired in Syria.
You were implying at the time that Paris was not safe. And
you know what? It's going to be just fine because you have a great president. You better do a good job, please. Otherwise, you're going to make me look very bad.
Like I said, I believe that the discussions that we've had today is the proper answer to terrorism.
What do you personally think about Mr. Xi Jinping?
Well, he's a friend of mine. I have great respect for him. We've gotten to know each other very well. A great leader. He's a very talented man. We've asked him for some assistance with respect to North Korea. Probably he could do a little bit more, but we'll find out. President Xi is a terrific guy. I like being with him a lot. And he's a very special person.
Well, I cannot say that he's a friend of mine or that I know him very well, because I very much want to say things as they are. But we had some initial contacts which were extremely fruitful. Allow me to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and once again thank President Trump for his visit. And I will be seeing him in a few moments in a friendly atmosphere.
Very much. Great honor. Thank you.